Because I was 262 the morning of prejudging for New York.
Yeah, so you're only up a pound.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, welcome back to episode 2 of Ginger and the Giant. We hope you guys enjoyed episode 1. We got a lot of really good feedback on it.
Really good feedback.
Yeah.
I was amazed actually.
I was
And
very
it did very well comment wise and view wise. So
yeah. Everyone is. I mean, all the comments were very like kind of around the same. Like they're excited to see it. They're like the dynamics really good and stuff. So it's really cool to
yeah.
see people enjoy it too. But today we're gonna do a Q&A.
Yeah.
So, did you see some of the questions you got yet? Did you look at any of them?
I briefly looked over them. I think a lot of them missed the mark because they're asking me questions, and I clearly put questions for the podcast.
That's okay.
So I'm like, you guys, you ruined it.
That's okay. Well, I got some good ones today.
No, there were some decent ones in there, but
Okay, good. Well, you want to touch on? You said you're 263 today.
yeah. So this morning, I would say I sent Kyle pictures. I don't know if you saw them, but the ones I posted,
Mm-hmm.
I sent him those, and then like I just got a diet update immediately, which I was shocked because he's never that quick. So he's probably like, this motherfucker got to eat, bro.
Yeah. Did you increase your food like a lot?
No, he's he's doing very small increments. Like like last week, my carbs were at like 450, and now he just went up to just 5. Like he's adding very, very small amounts, which is fine. I don't mind it. I get a weekly cheat meal or a cheat meal over the weekend, as he would call it. So I'll do something tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, technically, I'm just like up a pound from the show. I mean, last time we did this, I was as low as 259.
Yeah, that
So
was pretty fucking crazy. So you're a couple pounds below your show day weigh-in.
yeah. So now we're only 1 pound above, which is fine. I don't know exactly what his plan is. I'm sure he obviously wants me to go up in weight. I know
Totally.
without a doubt. I just don't know how high he wants to go.
Yeah.
Because I could probably do a show in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're still in like your condition is in enough to where you really wouldn't have to do much to
No,
go do a show.
no. And I have like all these fucking cookies at my house.
You
It's
got another box
insane.
of them in too.
From Skip, he sent me another brand. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
So I have all these Levain. My mom never had the Levain, so like she was like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to have one." Which one? I said, "I didn't know these were your cookies." I said, and I said, no one's touching them no Saturday. And she's like, "Well, can I at least have a piece?" I'm like, "Saturday?"
Yeah. Like you can wait.
Yeah. So she's just like, "All right, fine." And then I get the other box, and I'm like, "Yo, those look mad good too."
Yeah, they're pretty
Like,
solid.
so now like I'm torn, bro, because it's like I was really craving Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
So my plan is to like go there
Uh-huh.
and bring all these cookies with me, but I don't want to be truly disrespectful to the Cheesecake Factory, you know what I mean? But I really want Cheesecake Factory, not just Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
But it's not your favorite, but I'm also craving a Five Guy burger and just devour some cookies. But what you don't know is, we'll talk about it after. But
Okay.
My parents won't be here next weekend,
Okay.
so I'm kind of like, maybe I should just bring the cookies to Cheesecake.
Well, then you
And
can
be
put
like,
cookies on.
just be like, fuck y'all, never sponsored me. I've been promoting y'all since 2010. I'll bring some Levain cookies in this bitch.
I don't think it's a problem. You just sneak them in like a
I've
little.
done that before, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I remember, well, back in the day,
Mm.
when I lived in Florida, we went to some Mexican place
Yeah.
to have a bunch of tacos, and at the time I was sponsored by Fat Paulie's Cookies. So instead of
Mhm.
getting their dessert, I had the box of Fat Paulie's cookies.
Like you want dessert? You're like, no, I'm okay.
No, I'm good. I just broke out the box.
Are you like pretty reserved with them right now still, just because you are technically in prep, or is there like do you have like a calorie limit, I guess, with them, or does Kyle not really?
No, like I'm very obviously, you know me, dude. Like, I don't like to mess around. Like, it was to the
Right.
point where, like, last week I messaged Kyle before I had, dinner, and I'm like, do you want me to bring a liter of water and track it, or? And he's like, no, bro, just drink and enjoy.
Yeah.
So I'll probably want to talk to him because not to like even compare him to Matt or whatsoever, because it's uncomparable.
Different situation. Yeah.
But I do think the one thing that was very good in prep that me and him did was I had a weekly cheat.
Yeah.
Like, as long as everything was progressing,
Totally.
obviously.
Yeah.
But every Friday, I mean, I told you we would go to, like, Barry's,
Yep.
and I do believe that helped mentally tremendously, as well as my body, to just keep progressing.
For sure.
Because the way it was set up, where Fridays he would have me do like meals 1, 2, and 3. Because I trained after meal 2, this.
Yeah.
They would be like the high day
Hmm.
diet. Meal 4 would be like the regular low day diet,
Right.
and then meal 5 would be the cheat meal.
Hmm.
It would, I would have bread, my meal, Caesar salad, dessert,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then meal 6, be back to low, and then I'd wake up. Whether if it was like the same weight or a pound, what he would do then is Saturday, I would have the first 2 or 3 meals high, and then the rest low, and then Sunday, I would probably be up, 2 pounds, and then we'd go back and just deplete all over again.
Yeah.
And my body would just respond extremely well to that.
Well, I think sometimes some of that stuff works. Like with Chad Nichols, he would have everyone low throughout the whole week, and Sunday he's like, "Eat whatever you want."
I
It.
also think Kyle didn't want to do any of that just because it was our first prep, so he didn't
Yeah.
like want to put shit in my tummy that he didn't know if it was going to mess me up or not.
Totally.
But seeing how much I fucking ate after the show, and I was completely fine and probably felt better, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then my weight, dropped back down to 259. But even after Pittsburgh, we went to the Cheesecake Factory. I demolished a shit ton of food,
Yep.
and then the morning we got a big breakfast. I went up a decent amount, and within 2 days, I was back to a new low,
Yeah.
than I was before the show. So I do think little things like that does benefit my body, in particular,
Well, yeah.
versus just like a standard, high day.
Totally. Well, that's it. Some people. I forgot who posted it. It was some coach online, but he was talking about how some individuals actually do better with like quote unquote dirtier food, but like doing a burger or like something that's not clean necessarily from like instead of eating
Yeah.
more rice or potato and stuff. And he said that he actually saw with a couple athletes, he would give them a regular high day and they would hold a lot of water the next day versus he would have them do like a
Yeah.
full free meal. He's like, do a burger and fries, have dessert or whatever. And they wake up the next day, even though their weight's up, they're fuller, but they're a little bit tighter too, versus being watery from like a regular high day.
Well, I think it's in the bigger picture. I think it's two reasons. One, you're let's just say it's a date night, or you're out with friends or family.
Yeah,
You're at one end of the spectrum. You're decompressing.
totally. That's
You're
true.
spending time with your family. You're not thinking about family. You know what I mean. Your mind's finally not in bodybuilding realm,
Totally.
unless you're my mom, who wants to talk about it 24/7. But small joke. But and also, you're also giving your body nutrients it never seen before.
Right.
So it's like, what the fuck? And if your body is at the perfect time to have that, you're just gonna burn through that motherfucker. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So it's but then versus like a high day, it's cleaner. You might digest better, maybe not. Who knows if it's who knows.
Right.
But yeah, I've noticed sometimes I might wake up, maybe even if it's just a pound or a pound and a half heavier, but I look a little watery.
Yeah.
Versus like, dude, I remember waking up um after Pittsburgh and Kyle's house, looking in the mirror after having all that food Monday morning. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Well,
And then we posed, and I believe I sent you those Monday
yeah.
morning. I posed. I was, I was hard and dry like a motherfucker, and I was up in weight, you
Yep.
know. So yes, I do think obviously there will come a point where you should probably remove it,
Totally.
but like for like my 23 Olympia prep, outside of I think what me and Kyle just put together, which I do believe was my best look to date.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to see what that 2023 look would have transpired to on stage, because I mean how we looked a week out, I believe at that time that would have been a very insanely looking package, and I was literally having cheat meals up until like 5 or 6 weeks out.
Right. And I think
And
it.
we would also have a muffin. Like I would do so on that high day as well, meal one, because I'd go do cardio. I would go to Dragon's Lair, send pics, do like whatever cardio. Right after, he would let me know the plan. I go to Dunkin' Donuts, get a blueberry muffin. That was my meal one. That was included. Meal two was a high. Go train. Meal three high. Meal four low, and then it was cheat meal. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I think it is from the standpoint of like less stress because like you're still in bodybuilding mode when you just have a high day. Like, oh, I get 400 grams of rice instead of
Yeah,
200.
and you're still like, I gotta eat at this time. I'm
Yeah.
like that regardless when I gotta go out, but like once I sit down and I'm chilling, like I'm yeah, it's cool, you know.
Yeah.
You got the bread coming, you got whatever appetizer you want, and at the same time, I'm not saying go be a fat fuck by any
No.
means, but
Right.
like let's just say off season, like for me, I'm used to having like 2 loaves of the brown bread,
Yeah.
maybe just have a half a loaf or 1 loaf.
Right.
And if you have an appetizer, just nitpick it a little bit. Don't eat the whole fucking thing.
Totally.
And then have your meal and then dessert.
Yeah.
I mean, when I would get their carrot cake at Bear, I wouldn't eat the whole thing because the cake was ginormous.
Right. It's a big
But
piece.
I'd eat about a quarter, maybe half,
Yeah.
and I'd be golden, bro. Like I
Me
was
too.
golden.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you did when you went to dinner the other day, you posted third round of bread.
Yeah, I ate a lot of bread.
Yeah. That's okay.
My dad looked at me and was like, "I didn't know you like bread this much." I'm like, this isn't, I'm gonna be honest with you, Pop. This ain't the best bread I've ever had, but it's bread and it's good,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah. You're like, I don't fucking get bread often. So I'm going to eat it right now
Yeah.
because I have it.
And I like, and so like I almost want to say, let's try, as long as the body's doing what it needs to do,
Yeah.
let's do these weekly. Because right now, being 19 weeks out with how my body looks,
Oh, yeah.
we can we can handle that.
Totally.
As long as I'm not like, being a douchebag about it,
Right.
but we can handle that shit.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
yeah.
think you keep them in for now and just see how you keep responding. And if there gets a point to where it's too much, then you just take it out.
I'd rather like decrease my food throughout the week and keep that in.
Well, it's something to look forward to. Like you're like, oh, I have my cheat meal tomorrow, and it's like I like doing them for that reason because you look forward to it throughout the week, so you can plan it, like you said, with friends or family.
And dude, it made me train harder.
Yeah, it kind of because it puts in your head. You're like, I have a cheat meal Friday. I can't be a fucking pussy.
I'm
You have
like,
to train
too
hard.
fucking more.
Yeah. We'll crank into some of the questions. So there's half like serious ones and the other half are
Wait. Before we start,
okay.
you've had your first initial week
Oh
with
yeah.
Kyle, so
Yeah.
let's talk about it for a minute.
It's been good. It was so he wants to obviously recut me a little bit, which I've
Yeah,
dropped like 4 pounds so far.
yeah,
Technically, because I started on Saturday, so it's pretty much been like almost a full week.
yeah.
It's been good though. I feel good. Training's been really good. My sleep's been really solid. My
Good,
appetite's a little bit better too, which I'm
good.
happy to see. So yeah, my calories are. I think my training day is like 3,300, and my rest days are like 29. When he sent it over, I was like, I haven't seen
I'm
a
eating more, I'm
two.
eating more than you, bro.
I know, dude. He sent it over, and Maria was like, "There's a 2 in there." I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay though. It's not that bad."
No, it's not gonna last long. You saw what happened to me,
Yeah, you were at a lot
and
of.
it was pretty fast. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was really good.
So
Yeah,
I wouldn't. What he just like he said, he's trying to reset you, but he needs to learn your body all over. You know what I mean?
totally.
So
Yeah, he was like, "I didn't expect you to drop 4 pounds." I'm like, "Well, you see how my body works with things," but it's also like getting back from travels, being like fully on everything. So it's like there's also a lot of inflammation too that came down from all that.
Yeah, of
So
course.
yeah, everything's been really good.
How I obviously boosted it a little bit, I'm assuming.
My food?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
Yeah, he kept it the same.
Why?
He said he wants to give it like another full week. He wanted like 2 weeks just to see. And I was like, okay, well, because you know how there's like the daily check-in thing? I was trying
Yeah,
to fill
fuck
my
it.
weight in every day. And I'm like, is there a place where I can just put my weight in? He's like, I put it into the daily check-in. I'm like, I want to fill this whole fucking thing out.
Yeah, I told him I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, I don't do it.
I said, Kyle, I'm sending you my weight and pictures. That's it.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'll simplify it.
I might ask him to
I'm
do
like,
that because it's too many questions.
yeah, I'm like, bro, you don't need to know how my mood is right now. Like, I'm fucking tired, bro. What the
Yeah.
fuck you mean? Like, like,
No, it's I like that it's like, well, for even lifestyle clients it's good though because it makes them actually like think, but for us we're just like we do the same shit every day.
if I have a problem, I'll tell you, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
putting it in a goddamn check-in. What the
No.
fuck?
No.
That shit was taking me. I would honestly, dude, I would fill the whole thing out so annoyed when I would do cardio. And
Really?
then there was like at one point, I think it happened to me twice, where like it didn't send. And I'm like, I gotta do this shit all fucking over again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, and that was when I'm like, Kyle, you gotta simplify, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not beat for these 20 questions. I said, I'm
No.
not, this isn't high school, bro.
No.
I said, I didn't go to college for a reason, and this
Yeah.
is why.
You're like waiting pictures and that's it. I don't want to fill anything else out.
Yeah, if I have something to tell you, I'll write it or just tell you.
Yep.
Like, the fuck? But no, overall, it's you enjoying it. It's good.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. I'm excited to see where we're at by the end of the year and obviously
Good.
before like prep and stuff starts.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, that's
Fuck
good.
yeah.
I'm enjoying it. So let's see. I'm gonna get like we'll get a good one and then we'll do some of the funny ones.
Yeah.
So
Let me look
first
at mine.
question. Yeah, we can go back and forth. I'll do one, you do one. So what is one thing that we would like to see change in the industry and or just in the bodybuilding specific space? I'd say for me,
In
I'll go
terms
first.
of what?
Just anything. Like if there's anything that you think that needs to change, I think one of the biggest things from like a coaching standpoint is more qualifications for people to actually coach because there's a lot of people that do a single show and all of a sudden they're a coach and they're like there's no qualification standards for being a coach. Like in Australia, for example, you have to have a cert 3 and 4 to actually be a personal trainer. Like you have to have these. If you don't have them, like you can't be a coach or a trainer at all.
Yeah.
Like in a gym setting, yeah, you have to have like NASM or ACE or whatever, but online coaching, you could just say you're a coach and look good and people will believe you and then you could sell programs.
This is where I'll play devil's advocate. Yes, I don't think after one show you should become a coach. I think
Right.
that's absolutely insanity and stupid, and
Totally.
you look like an asshole. But I let's just say you don't have a cert, right?
Okay.
But you have been in the game for like 20 plus years.
Yes.
I will take the experience of that guy over someone who has barely any experience but has every cert you could think of.
For sure. Okay, I don't disagree with that. I'd say from like a perspective of because experience does matter. I think a mix of both.
I
If you
think
should have,
experience matters more than someone going to school.
no, I do. I agree with that for sure. It's more so I think well because at the end of the day, all those guys that are experienced, there's probably
They've done
some
it. They've tried it.
yeah
They've been through the
exactly
trial and error.
yeah
They kind of
yeah
figured it out.
totally
And this is where I'll say science matters, but it doesn't at the same time.
yeah to a certain extent it does. I think it's more so from the standpoint that it's because people are so naive, so they'll just see someone that looks good and they'll go with them. And there's just so many like horror stories of people getting with the coach and they just
Yes.
don't do absolutely anything for them. Like they make them worse
Well,
than they were before.
exactly. And that's why I said like if you decide you want to be a coach and you've only done two shows, like what do
Right.
you really fucking know?
Yeah. If you have a good that's the thing. If you have a track record of like I've coached, 10 Olympians or whatever, I've gotten all these transformations, that's a little bit different.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think you should have to show some sort of like educational level to your coaching to actually be a coach. That's what I'd say.
I agree.
What would you change if there's anything that you think could change?
That was going to be mine, to be honest with you. I see.
Really?
Well, because now I've been seeing it way too often,
Yeah, it's a lot.
and I don't like it.
No.
Um, and also, I mean, not that this is something I would change, but something I think people. I would like to see people be more open minded
Yeah,
about trying and doing certain things.
totally.
Like, for example, I was, as you know, I was completely against and being open to even trying peptides.
Yeah.
And Kyle had me use that Retatrutide,
Yep. Mhm.
just for more of an appetite suppressant, so I'm not starving in prep.
Right.
And it worked
Yep. It
like
works really well.
tremendously.
Yeah.
But then I decided to do all my own research,
Yeah.
and not only did it do that, but it kept me I think in a much better mood,
Right. For sure.
and it also burned fat
Yeah.
really, really to the point where, bro, like I didn't need to do a lot of cleanse,
Right.
any large amount of T3, like nothing.
No.
Everything was very low, and I do think it was because of that added little peptide.
Yeah. Well, peptides have like they have a lot of there's a lot of research going into them, and I think even for like BPC 157 and then TB 500 for injury, which you use that when you tore your hamstring, you saw how
People,
well it
people,
worked.
but what's crazy is people use these all year,
Yeah.
and I've actually done even more. Like you can,
Yeah.
and you can stop them. The only thing I've heard about retatrutide is if you just stop it, there's no like rebound or harsh side effects. It's just
Right.
the hunger comes back tremendously. So
Totally.
you're gonna have to not be an asshole
Yeah.
excuse me, when it comes to that. But like because they don't affect really anything in the body,
Yeah.
you can just kind of stop.
Right. Yeah.
And but you can also, because they don't play any attachment hardcorely to you can run them all year and be like you're good.
Yeah.
And like the health benefits that I've seen from retatrutide, that people even posted blood work,
Mhm.
lowers your cholesterol, lowers your glucose, and it's like without being dramatic, it seems like a fucking miracle drug here.
No, totally. I agree. I mean,
You know,
there's a reason I don't think like they're not uh obviously passed by the FDA, and I think it's for that specific reason is because they work so well.
it's too good.
Exactly. That's the thing. When something works really well and it's actually making people healthier, they're like, "Oh, we're not going to pass this. We're not going to
They
make it like
don't, yeah, they don't want to pass that shit.
no." Yeah, I definitely
But
I've done like a little research on a couple of them. I want to do more because there's just a lot of really good benefits to quite a few of them.
especially the ones that have a big help in the mitochondria
Yeah.
realm. I've
Yep.
been doing a lot of research. Even me, I had no idea up until a few months ago trying this. Even though the retatrutide doesn't really play a role in the mitochondria, I just decided to explore the peptide realm. How much the mitochondria is that important? like
Yeah, it's very
I didn't
important.
like I didn't really, you know what I mean? I didn't really like know, and now I'm
Right.
like, oh no shit. And
Yeah.
I think there's certain peptides like you could even take post show to
Yeah.
help get everything back in the groove, feel healthy, feel good, feel energized. And
Mhm.
I think there's some that you could literally take year round at an extremely low dose just to keep everything stable while you're in prep. I
Absolutely.
think there's some you could kick up a notch while you're deep into prep just to
Yep.
help burn the fat quicker or whatever else it may be.
Yeah.
When with those, as far as I'm concerned, there's no harsh side effects to them, but it also allows you to not overuse like I said, clen and T3 and all that other shit that is not that healthy. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree with that for sure. They're very, very. I mean, I just had a chat with my buddy the other day because he's like rolled his ankle probably like 10 times since I've known him. He basically
Yeah.
sprained it, and now it's like it's continuing to get injured. So I'm like, dude, take BPC and pair it with TB 500, and you'll see it works very well. But he's even doing his research on it now too. So I think it's really
It's
cool.
they're fucking awesome.
Yeah. Did
I,
you?
I do I do believe that.
No, they're great. I love. I'm obviously Kyle will have me use them when I need to too. But
Probably.
did you find a good question?
I found a funny one,
Okay, we'll go
and
funny.
I would like to know your opinion.
Okay.
When you eat cereal,
Yeah.
does the cereal go first or the milk?
The cereal.
All right, good. I listen. You'd be surprised how many people will put milk first.
So I'll do the cereal with milk, and then if I need more milk, obviously I'll like you know what I mean. Like you pour a little bit in, and then you get to the bottom. If there's not enough milk, then you put
Nah,
some.
see, I do it the other way, bro. I'll put cereal in and
Yeah.
load that motherfucker with milk to the brim.
And then you put
So
more.
then what I do is I eat it all, and if there's still more milk, I'm like, oh, I guess I need more cereal, and then I
Yeah.
just pour more cereal. Or if I don't want more cereal,
Uh,
but there's a shit ton of milk, and it absorbs the flavor of the cereal that I love, I'm gonna just drink the shit out of that milk.
oh yeah. I don't let it go to waste.
No.
Uh,
But if it, I don't like milk. I'll drink milk regardless. I don't really care. But if it like is just regular milk sitting at the bottom, I may not drink it.
yeah.
But like if the milk tastes like cinnamon toast crunch or some shit, I'm totally drinking it.
That or if it's like the Fruity Pebbles cereal milk, that
Totally drinking it.
it's fucking good. You did a. I had a very funny one. One of my clients asked me this. He said, "Would you rather pee out a grape or poop out a pineapple?"
Oh shit! I poop out a pineapple.
Really?
What,
It
what like
has
a
all
piece?
those spikes
What
on
like
it.
a piece of a pineapple?
No, a full pineapple. Like you're
Oh,
pooping out an entire pineapple, and it has
that's gonna be a bloody toilet.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
so would a grape, but also too grapes are different sizes. Pineapples are all pretty fucking big. I
I
would
guess
choose.
I'm gonna have to take the pain of peeing out a grape.
Yeah, I wouldn't do a pineapple, bro. Absolutely not.
I think I would pee out the grape. Yeah. If the pineapple didn't have the sharp edges, though, I may poop out the pineapple.
If it didn't have the leaves and the sharp edges, yeah, I would choose the pineapple.
I may just suck that up and be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's either way. That's fucking terrible though.
Because I feel like after I pee out this grape, my pee pee hole is gonna be sore for a very long time,
It will be very sore.
and it's gonna hurt to pee for a very, very long
Yeah,
time.
dude, it's like a ginormous kidney stone.
Like I feel like I'm gonna pee blood for a few weeks.
Probably, it's not going to feel good.
No, it's like getting shampoo stuck in your pee hole and you go pee pee and
Yep.
it burns, but it's like that times five, you know?
Yeah, I've done that before.
Oh, dude, I get scared to pee.
Terrible. You get your passion fruit shampoo in it.
Dude, I got another one for my hair.
What you get?
It's strawberry something. It's so delightful.
So you done pineapple, passion fruit, and strawberry.
Yeah, it's a strawberry. And I also have their deodorant that's a strawberry donut made by Dunkin' Donuts.
I, that's okay. You're gonna smell like a strawberry now.
But one of the best fruits in the world. Duh.
You choose
Why
strawberry over
not?
blueberry.
What?
You choose strawberry over blueberry,
For a smell, yeah.
but to eat, you choose blueberry. Did we have this discussion? I felt like we talked about this with
We
Kyle.
did. It varies though. Like I will choose a blueberry muffin over like a strawberry muffin.
I've never had a strawberry muffin.
But in turn, is that even a thing?
I don't think so, bro. Well, it
Uh,
probably is. Like you can make them. I've just never had like a strawberry muffin.
but when it comes to like a jelly filled, I would choose strawberry over
For sure.
blueberry.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Like
it
strawberry
comes to
jelly.
like a drink of some sort, like a smoothie, I would choose strawberry over
Strawberry.
blueberry.
Yeah.
There's certain instances where I would choose strawberry over blueberry, but blueberry over strawberry.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's like a half and half.
It is.
Yeah.
Like when someone says you want a strawberry banana smoothie, I'm like, fuck yeah. If somebody was like, you want a blueberry banana smoothie, I'm gonna be like, what's that taste like?
Blueberry and banana is actually pretty good together.
I'm sure it is, but like when you hear strawberry banana, that's the common fact, and you're like, oh yeah, that's refreshing. Let me get that shit.
Yeah.
Blueberry, I'm sure it's fantastic, but that'll make me go. can I try it first? You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
I need and let me. Can you got a sample sip? I need a
yeah.
sample sip.
Yeah, like I'm not drinking a whole fucking thing without knowing what it tastes
No,
like.
I gotta make sure. It's like food, right? Like I never
Yeah,
had. I gotta taste test this before I get a whole platter.
yeah, yeah.
When you
That's
buy a
fair.
car, what do? You test drive before you buy and make. You know what I mean?
Very true. I agree with this.
What you got to do?
Do you have one, or are you going to do another one?
Let me see.
I have quite a few.
Well, go ahead. You go again since you got them
Um,
already ready.
which muscle group are you beefing with right now? This one was easy for me because my back. I need to grow my back.
Beefing? Like, am I
Beefing with,
fighting?
yeah, I'm beefing with my back.
um,
What muscle group would you? I mean, I feel like you brought up everything you needed to, but
I'm still gonna go with chest.
yeah, I had a feeling you were going to say chest.
I think my legs have come up a lot, and they're
Yeah.
still. I think I nailed what I need to do to continue to bring them up.
Yep.
Um, Same thing with back. I think I
Hmm.
have nailed they're progressing. It just needs
Totally.
more time.
Right.
Chest is always like that slow progression feel.
Right.
So I think we have it down, and um, we'll figure. I think we're gonna head up. Like right now, like I said, we're doing a PPL split.
Yeah. How's that been?
Um, we're doing taking Wednesdays and Sundays off. There's
Okay.
no right now. We don't have like a set day for what as at the PPL. It's just
Right.
gonna. It just keeps going. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be like push pull off legs, push
Push,
pull
pull.
off, and then it just flows. It
Yeah.
doesn't like. Does that make sense?
No. Yeah. Your days are just different each week.
Yeah, some days I might do push twice, some days will be legs twice,
Yep.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I do.
But mainly everything will get hit every 4 to 5 days.
Totally. It's a good
So
frequency.
I think it's great for you. I don't I'm like I don't know how people do things 3 times a week. I don't I think
Mhm.
if you can hold back that much in a session, congratulations.
Yeah.
But I think twice a week is great.
It's enough if
But
you train to failure for sure.
I also we like to train hard. So to try and do something 3 times a week,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it isn't beneficial because I think frequency is probably, in my opinion, the most beneficial in terms of not training to failure, but hitting things a lot frequent.
Right.
But I feel like how much intensity that has to be held back from that a little bit.
For sure.
And I like to, I like to train hard,
Yeah. You're
you
not going to
know?
hold back on anything.
No.
Mhm.
So it's might as well just take a fucking deload week.
Yes. Exactly.
Fuck all that.
Um. You get one? Are you still searching?
This is a good question,
Okay.
because it's a fun one, but it's serious at the same time.
Okay.
It says, "What constitutes as a cheat meal, in your opinion, calorie wise?" I
Um,
don't think calories matter when it comes to exact cheat meal because I could have 2,000 calories of clean food and 2,000 calories of shit food. I
yeah.
think it's gonna be what you're actually fucking eating is
Totally.
going to determine what a cheat meal is. Like I wouldn't consider, and a lot of people would because
Mhm.
it's homemade though, and I guess you somewhat, but I wouldn't consider a homemade steak and potatoes
No.
a cheat meal.
No. That's some people are like, I gotta
Even
cheat. Go ahead.
even if I go out, maybe you could because if you don't get it plain and all that in there, you know what I mean.
Right.
But I would consider
Is it-
sushi a cheat, although that's on the cleaner side a little bit.
Sushi is if you get all like the crazy shit, you know. If you're getting
Yes.
just like tuna, salmon, like it's not a cheat meal.
To a degree, and this is also a controversial, you
Uh,
can somewhat consider a burger a cleaner cheat.
yeah, if you're not getting like a super greasy burger, it's like a leaner.
Like I think burger from Cheesecake Factory is a cleaner cheat.
Yep.
They
Okay.
can be greasy, but I don't think it's overly to the point where it's like this is disgusting.
Totally. Yeah.
Um, I know you will debate me on this, but even I don't think Five Guys is that's a lot dirtier than cheesecake. Don't get
For
it
sure.
twisted.
Yeah.
But I know they use real 100% USDA approved beef.
They do. You know, I haven't had Five Guys in a while. I think I'm gonna give it another shot, and I will go for my next cheat meal, and I'll get a
Well, you
burger and
you
fries.
you gain no weight, pussy. Go today.
Okay, yeah, that's actually a good point.
Just go today.
I
He's
woke
like,
up the
Kyle,
next
I gained
morning.
no weight. I'm sorry, I went today.
Yeah, I woke up the next morning, and Maria was like, well, you get another cheat meal. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna wait. I should probably go.
Here's bro, go get it.
Yeah.
Don't even get toppings, bro. Just get literally a double cheeseburger. If you
Okay.
want to make it a triple, go ahead because I always make it a triple. But
Okay.
just do a regular. Don't get toppings and see how
Right.
you really like it.
Yep.
Get with the fries, whether you
Okay.
like regular occasion. I don't. I mean that's preference.
Okay.
And grab a dessert. Grab some cookies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Grab some
Yeah.
cookies.
Dude,
Go to
the
fucking.
cookie I had was shit. I was so mad.
What'd you have?
It
So
was
you had a carrot cake.
it was a carrot cake cookie. It was from a company called Big Fat Cookie or My Fat Cookie or something. It was
Oh,
it wasn't good, dude. It was like when there's too much there's like too much spice in the carrot cake and it's like a fucking spicy
yeah.
cookie. You're like, what the fuck
Is there any good cookie places beside Crumble? I guess.
in full like down here?
Yeah.
Um not that I know of, but Fresh Market has some pretty good desserts. So I could
Okay.
do
Go
that.
to Fresh Market,
Yeah.
grab whatever you want, and eat it.
That's
And
fine.
I honestly be like, tell me how you truly feel,
No, I
because I
will.
would love to know.
Yeah, I will.
Because everyone has a bad experience. Because I mean,
Yeah,
as much as I shit on In and Out, I will always choose Five Guys over In. I
right.
love Five Guys, but
Yeah.
In and Out's not shit.
No.
I just had one bad experience to where I waited like a half hour for my food, and it was cold as the
Yeah.
fucking iceberg from Titanic. So I'm like, but the fries do suck.
No, I will say the In-N-Out fries are fucking terrible. I like their burgers, but their fries are not. They're not good. They're
But
like
the first time I did go to In and Out, now this was post show, so I feel like anything tastes fucking great.
Mm.
It was phenomenal.
See, it's good. They do the same thing where their patties aren't frozen; they're all fresh.
No, it is
Well,
fresh, but
not
I like for me, I like the taste of Five Guys better. I
yeah,
don't know why, but I like the taste. Like, and I do think In and Out and Five Guys do real beef.
totally. Yeah,
I don't know if Shake Shack does, to be honest. I'm
I
actually not sure on that.
had a very bad experience there too. I got so sick.
You did, but here's the problem. Did you actually like the food though?
It was okay.
Because, for example, I know even though I think we'll use my brother because Kyle is like lactose intolerant and shit.
Yeah,
My brother loves insomnia cookies.
those are good.
Bro, we got it around here.
They're great.
I need to have a cheat every week. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I need to get it out. But he had a bad experience in Vegas actually, where we ate them, which was weird because my dad, and my mom didn't. But he had the runs all fucking night,
Really
all night, bro. It was insane.
interesting.
And but he's like the cookies were good though.
It's worth it. That's one of those things. You're like, was it worth it? You're like, yeah.
So it's like they may have been maybe a little undercooked, who knows? But
Right.
to be honest, sometimes I prefer that. I like to eat cookie dough.
Yeah.
So, but everyone else is fine. So I don't know if he just had the bad cookie or what. But it happened to
Sure.
Kyle. But Kyle, I can't say it was a bad cookie when it comes to Kyle because Kyle takes a sip of a milkshake and has to shit his brains out for 30 minutes. So
Yep. He has a
I
protein shake
can't,
and he goes to the bathroom.
bro.
Like,
Dude. The one night when I was at his house, he looks forward to his cheats. Like you
yeah,
can tell. Like
totally.
so I said to him, I said it was it was the week before we left
Okay.
for Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I said, dude, I said, I don't mind. Go like I don't really care what you eat. I said, I got a high day anyway. Like I'm good. You
Yeah.
know, I'm fixated.
Yeah.
I said, why don't you guys just get something that's dirty, bring it back here, we'll all hang out, watch a TV show or something. So he's like, so Liz was like, yeah, I'm cool, let's do that. He wanted Shake Shack. They get Shake Shack. He gets a milkshake from there, and then they get Chick-fil-A cookies because oh, dude,
Those are good.
go to Five Guys and then get Chick-fil-A
Those are
cookies.
good. Yeah.
I'm not. So then he comes home. They eat the Shake Shack burgers and fries. He already drank the shake. That shit was long gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay. He ends up sitting on the couch and when we're watching Power, and I dozed out for a hot minute, and I get up and he's gone.
Okay.
And I just thought he went to his office.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm not kidding. Like it was about another 45 minutes. And the show ended, and I'm like, where's Alyssa? And I look up, and she was on the Love Sack.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, where's Kyle? And he's like, in the bathroom. I said, this whole time? And he was like, yeah, he had a shake. And I'm like, holy sh. And then he comes back, he sits down, chills, and then he starts eating the Chick-fil-A cookies. And
Oh no.
I'm like, bro, you're gonna have to go again. And he's like, whatever, dude. So I'm like,
He doesn't care.
that's why when he was like challenging me to eat how many cookies we can eat after a show, I'm like, bro, you don't want to do this.
You're like, you're gonna shit yourself all night.
Well, two things. I'm gonna demolish you.
Yeah.
I'm hungry, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And two, where you gonna poop, bro? Because you're gonna clog every toilet.
Yeah.
You think you can eat 10 of these, bro?
That was so funny.
And by the last one, you remember he's like, oh.
He's like, I can't do this. But there was a little piece left, and he threw it away. You're like, did you finish it? He's like, no, there's a little piece left.
Yeah, I'm like, what? He gave me something to take home. I haven't eaten those yet, but I let my mom. That sounds horrible. I let my mom. My mom took one.
Yeah.
She had the Biscoff one.
Did you like it?
She was very upset because she just wanted chocolate chip. And I'm like, well, there's none in here. I said, there's a Biscoff. I said, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
So she was just like, all right. So I even heated up for her for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I said, she took one bite and she's like, oh. And you know, like the size of them, right? So
yeah,
I'm thinking, she's going to eat like a half or something. She just kept going until that motherfucker was gone, brother.
the whole thing.
The whole fucking thing. And I was like, my man.
Their cookies
fuck
aren't
you.
small. They're like pretty decently sized cookies.
They're not like as big as the cookie dealer,
No.
but they're the perfect size though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I talked to them. They're gonna actually they're on vacation. They're gonna send me more of the oatmeal cream cookies when they come home.
Really?
So I said, just send me a box of those, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't give a fuck about nothing else.
You should see if they'll let you make a cookie. If you can make a cookie, what would it be? Like your own. If you were to have your
I mean, that would be it.
That's fair. Okay.
But second choice, I don't know if they have it. I haven't really seen it, but maybe I would do like a strawberry and peanut butter type of cookie.
Strawberry and peanut butter?
Yeah, like jelly.
Oh, okay. That if you say strawberry, I've never heard someone say it like that.
But have like the filling.
Yeah.
And then have like within the cookie, if it's not too much, because I have to taste test, have like little bits of like peanut butter and fresh fruit throughout.
Yeah. Well, you can do like peanut butter chips.
Oh yeah. Peanut butter chips.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I feel like that could be a fire cookie.
That'd be pretty good. Okay. I like that idea. We have this one is actually pretty good. So someone asked, how do you move on from trauma and rejection?
Well, that could be two different things.
Okay, well, let's just say like
that's a loaded question.
That is a loaded question. We'll split it and just say like, how do you move on from rejection or how do you deal with it?
Now, is this rejection from like your favorite idol or female?
It could be a rejection from like a person, a job, like any kind of rejection. Because I feel like it kind of goes in tandem with each other, even though they're different situations.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, right? Like when I was younger, I see. I'm bad with advice on this one because I never feared rejection.
Right.
I always knew there would be more opportunities. Like,
totally.
God forbid, like I got rejected. I don't know. Let's just say from something I was looking forward to.
Yeah.
Like college. What would you say? I don't know. But let's just say my number one school.
Right.
I got rejected. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be hurt.
Yeah.
But like, I'll get over it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I also look at it like things happen for a reason, for something better. Like, for example, right? I could say this might be a bad example, but I think could be decent how I go about it.
Okay.
I got rejected at Pittsburgh.
Right. Yeah.
I got rejected because that was the show I wanted to win.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit about nothing. I wanted to win the first Pittsburgh, and that was it. That was what my prize was set on. I didn't win.
Yeah.
So I had to go to New York. But at the same time, now looking back and the dust has settled, emotions are chilling. I'm happy it went the way that it actually did because
Totally.
I got 3 rings. I had my hometown people there.
Hmm.
And even though I lost in Pittsburgh, I still won in many other different ways.
Absolutely.
So
No,
to me, I lost, but I won more in those 2 weeks than I lost.
I think it's a good way to look at it. Like, because there's so many instances to where you're gonna face those kind of issues in life of like rejection of any sort, but it's also you can't go throughout life without having that. It's like
You
failure.
have to lose.
You
You
do. You
have to
have to.
lose.
Because if you don't lose, you don't learn. Like it's a learning experience.
And for me, it was like, yeah, I was very upset, obviously, and I was hurt because like after I guess 2 years off, we'll just go with the flow of that.
Yeah.
Um, I wanted to again shock the world and win,
Right.
but knowing I didn't win, but I still shocked the world and everyone pretty much that watched and saw thought I should have won.
Right.
That and then winning New York, getting my 3rd ring, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm happy I was able to do that, especially at Steve's show.
Hmm.
Um, I think that was more winning than losing.
Totally. Well, like you said, everything happens for a reason. When you actually look back on it, you realize it happened. Everything happened in the way it did for that one specific reason. And if it was any other outcome, you'd be in a completely different place.
Exactly. It's like a house. You have your dream house. You didn't get approved. It didn't work.
Yeah.
You're upset, but like, a couple months down the road, you got another house and you're like, you know what? This worked out better.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
there's always you never know why, but there's always reasons why things happen the way they happen,
For sure.
without a doubt.
Absolutely.
And now, if we're talking in a female perspective, I'm gonna be very blunt and to the point. Get the fuck over it, bro.
Yeah.
Like
There's plenty of them.
there's many more women in the sea.
Yeah.
You turn your head, female. Turn your head, female. You look up, female. I
Yeah.
think you're good, brother. You'll find
Totally.
another.
Yeah. If that's what it is, it's like you can't sit and worry about one person because at the end of the day, if you're worried, but they rejected you, they probably don't care. That's a
So why should you, right?
exactly. If they don't care about you, it's like, why are you putting time and effort in?
I don't. Yeah, hell
So,
no.
do you have any on your end?
No, but this guy did say to you, why Danilo never follow me back? I thought we had something.
I have no idea who that is.
His name's Carlos.
I know a lot of Carloses. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry, Carlos. Um,
Hold on, let me see if I can find one. You just did 2.
yeah. Oh, I did do two back to back, did I? I
You
did.
did.
I did. Well, next time, tell your followers to be more specific with the
Like these
question.
questions, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, these questions are ass,
Really?
kind of.
Well, we'll do
They're like
another.
all personal about for me. I'm like, this isn't for the podcast.
Right. That's okay. If you could twist one to make it for the podcast, you could do
Let me see.
that.
Oh, this is not a bad one. If you could compete in any era of bodybuilding, which one would you pick?
Oh. I mean, I feel like, well, for me, with it being classic, I would kind of choose when Arnold was competing because that's technically when it was. It was just
Yeah,
it was
you'd go to the 70s.
well, yeah. Because if I look back, because it's like I wouldn't have done because classic is so new because it was in 2016. It was just bodybuilding back then.
Yeah.
Like that's all it was bodybuilding. So I would probably choose the 70s just for that reason. What would you choose?
Um,
Like the Dorian era?
yeah,
Mm.
I think because that was kind of like still the classic era, and so he walked in,
Yeah,
and then that was like the start of the Mass Monster era. So I would have loved to seen how I would have done then
totally.
with everyone. And I mean, I like the early 2000s, with Ronnie and Jay.
Yeah, that was another good one.
When Kevin was still in it, Flex was still in it, Chris
Yeah.
was still in it. Um, so I would have liked that era as well, for
I feel
sure.
like that was like another golden era too. Like
It was.
it for sure was. Absolutely.
It was.
Yeah, I think that the 70s was good. I was actually looking on because I was on the Olympia website to see if the tickets came up. And I went and scrolled and looked because you obviously see all the past Olympias. And
Yeah.
it's crazy to see all the different cities and countries they had the Olympia in until it
At
hit
one
Vegas
point.
with Ronnie. And then it's just like the same. And it was like
Yeah.
Ronnie, however many, 8
You
times.
won eight in a row.
Yeah. Well, it was crazy seeing that because you have him, and then you had Dorian winning his, you had Lee Haney winning his. So you see all these just like boom, 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 boom. And it's just boom, boom.
Yeah.
It's for like however many Olympias. And then now it's, so many back and forth from when Sean won, and then when Brandon Curry won, Ramy won his too. And then it was like Hottie, Derek. And there's no like, there hasn't been that huge reign for a while.
No, the last one was Phil, man.
Yeah.
That was it. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go on a little bit of a rain. We'll see.
That's what Maria and I were talking about that the other day. I was like, the only person I could really see doing that out of anybody would be you from a consistency factor.
Yeah.
Like with your look, it's very consistent. All these other guys, it's not consistent. You like it's like
No.
you and Hottie
It,
are both very consistent with your looks.
yep. And that's why, like, people get on me for saying it. 2024, I obviously don't know how that would have ended, but
Right.
2023, I truly believe I would have won.
Totally.
I
Absolutely.
100% believe I would have won.
For sure.
Um, Obviously, me and Kyle know what we need to do moving forward. We spoke to Tyler feedback wise,
Yeah.
and we're gonna execute, and that's it.
It's gonna be a good year. Do you want me to ask one more and we'll finish it off?
Yeah, go ahead, because mine are booty.
Okay. Let's see. There's a couple. Yeah, we can do one or two.
Yeah.
I guess this is a good one to ask. How do you deal with time away from stage, fear of missing out, and not wanting to take an off season? I feel like for you, you don't really care to take time away to improve.
No, like even when I was younger, I was always a one show guy
Yeah,
because I wanted to be able to improve show to show
right.
because that's noticeable. Judges see that, the fans see that, the people see that. Like,
Yes,
if you compete too often, sure, you can make minuscule improvements, but to make long, very noticeable improvements, you got to take time off.
for sure. And I think you see it too with a lot of competitors now, is they'll be placing like fifth, sixth, fifth. And even though they're up there, it's like they need to take, like Terrence did. He took that time away because he knew he needed to grow to actually
Yeah.
stay competitive.
Yep. And I think, you'll get to a point where like you won't have to do that anymore.
For sure.
It just becomes refinement, but also
Yeah.
can refinement also just comes from not getting overly too heavy.
Yes.
So the longer you can stay in shape at a certain point in your career and keep refining, the better the presentation will become at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that was the point I was hitting
Mhm.
because I did, a lot of shows, not back to back, but very frequently to where like my off seasons were only like 3 to 4 months and then it was like back on it.
Right.
So I never, had a long, long one, for a few years up until I guess, last year, I guess was my longest one leading
Totally.
into Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think time away, I wouldn't look at it as a fear as missing out. I would look at it as just motivation for when you come back.
Exactly.
You just have to keep in mind why you're doing it,
Mm.
not forget that reason. And I think some people forget it
Yeah.
because they take a very long off season. They forget the purpose
Yep.
because they don't see the improvements. They don't really see the changes, even though they're happening.
Right.
You don't see them as much as you would like.
No.
It becomes very stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
You start to lose the motivation, obviously,
Yep.
and it becomes boring. But as long as you have to just remember like why you're doing it, and I think one of the best ways to go about it is within an off season, set short term goals that you want to hit
Yeah.
every few months.
Absolutely.
And I think if you do that, I mean, I'm not saying it'll keep you motivated forever, um, but it could help keep you motivated for a longer period of time.
Totally. Yeah, even like I always tell my athletes to set like non-physique related goals in their off season because I'm like, you're getting super strong. Like set like, however many you want to do like plates on a incline Smith press or whatever it is. Cause I mean, you can probably relate to this too. Like there's some off seasons, Terrence had to do it too. He got a lot softer than he usually is, but rightfully so, it worked. He didn't get fat by any means, but he
No,
put
no, no.
on extra body fat than he's used to having. So it's
And
like
you
you
have
can't,
to.
yeah, you can't be worried about, looking lean year round or shredded year round. Like you don't have to be a fat slob, but you're also, you're not going to have your lines that you usually have throughout the year.
No, but then you see, and that's why like the internet, it's becomes part of the internet because the internet now gets on you. Oh, too
Yeah.
heavy, too this,
Yeah.
too that. That's why like back in that Jay's era and all, no one cared.
No.
They got fat. Like
Yeah.
some of them got
Look at
fat.
Lee Priest. He got fat as fuck in his off season. And he was shredded on
I
stage.
I'm pretty sure like even Jay at one point got a little chunk.
Yep.
Ronnie got a little chunk.
Yeah.
But that's, believe it or not, I'm not gonna say it's healthy by any means, but them doing that and letting their body chill to
Yep.
a degree is more healthier than them trying to stay in a leaner state all fucking year.
Yes, I agree.
It just doesn't work that way.
No.
And I'm not advocating being over 300 pounds is healthy, but what I'm saying is it's putting them in a healthier, relaxed state of mind
Mhm.
than trying to be lean for so long, if that makes sense.
Totally, yeah. Well, because
You
like
know?
obviously each end of the spectrum isn't healthy. Being show day ready isn't healthy. Being super, super overweight isn't healthy. But
No,
you got to put a little bit of body fat on sometimes if you're going to make crazy improvements and you want to make those improvements and see them on stage.
you have to.
Yeah,
You have to. It's literally it's inevitable.
it is
You know,
for
you
sure.
have to. You have to. I'm not saying like you said, you're not gonna be fat, but you got to have a little chunk on you if you really really want to make decent improvements.
Yeah, if the goal is to like step on stage next time and you actually want to make a statement and win, it's like you can't be doing these 2 month off seasons, 8 week bulking. It's like it's not how it is. It doesn't work
I
that
know
way.
where
No,
it's never gonna.
no. I think it's pretty good on questions. Unless you want to do one more.
Do one more.
Okay. Do you want like a funny
Yeah.
one or a serious one?
We'll end on a funny one. You got a funnier?
I think we have a. There's a couple. Let's see. Um. Oh yeah. So has TSA ever taken away your subs if you brought them through?
Hell no.
No. Did I tell you the story about me getting a full body pat down?
You did. Go ahead, tell it. It's
Multiple
funny.
times. Yeah. Okay. So Nick's already heard this, but basically, just going through the Reno airport, which is where I pretty much lived my whole life. Um, I brought through my protein powder, and it's marked protein, and you can see through it was like a cookies and cream one. Like you can see the little speckles in it, and if you smell it, it smells like fucking protein powder.
Fuck
Um,
yeah.
so it goes off. They use a little swab thing to like test it for drugs. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, they set our thing off. I'm like, dude, I'm not carrying like meth through this. Like, I just want to go. And so they pull me off to the side. They're like, do you want a private screening? I'm like, absolutely not. No, do it right here. So they do like a full body pat down. The guy goes over my toe because I was wearing compression socks. He's like, what is this? I'm like, it's my toe. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, bro. I'm like, do you want to fucking take my sock off? Like, what do you want me to do? And he's like, okay, we might have to go over it again. And he's like rubbing my toes. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? It was so weird. But then it happened a second time when we went back like a month ago or like 2 months ago to visit the West Coast because we brought a greens powder through. They tested it, it set off, and I got another full body pat down. Not by this.
You don't put that in your luggage?
I do. I put all of it in, but I forgot. I just tossed this one into my carry on, and I didn't even
Yeah,
think
I don't.
about it.
The only thing I put in my food bag that goes through the thing is food. I don't
Yeah.
put any powders.
Well, whenever I fly
Uh,
Marino, I'm not bringing supplements in my carry-on bag anymore.
No, I just put it in your check bag,
I'm
bro.
tired of getting the full body shit.
But I always get checked no matter what.
Really, you do?
I get patted down every time.
Do you ever have the ones where like it's busy and they just walk you through and then it doesn't go off?
Yeah, that's what I always do, but they still pat me down.
Because you do pre-check, don't you?
No, I don't have pre-check.
Oh no, we were talking about getting pre-check. We
Yeah,
should with all the travel that happens.
yeah. I
So
just whatever.
yeah.
But I always get patted down, always in the legs and the shoulders, no matter what.
Interesting. Yeah, whenever they do me, it's the same area too. It's never anything different. Weird. Well,
I never had to get a full body like you though, but
dude, it's fucked up. Don't bring
yeah,
supplements through your check bag. Put it in
they
your or through your carry-on. Put it in your check bag.
they'll just crack jokes. They'll be like, "Yo, you big as fuck."
Really?
I'm like, "Oh, this hoodie doesn't disguise it." All right,
Yeah, no, dude. Any clothes you wear, no. There's
I
no.
try, but I guess it doesn't
It
work.
doesn't work at all. It's like when Ronnie wore a suit and it's like it looks like a fucking box.
When you're big as fuck, dude, getting a suit fitted is the worst.
Yeah, you
I remember for my brother's wedding in 2019. It was a month after, n- yeah, about a month after my show.
yeah.
I had to get fitted. It was like a week and a half prior to the show, and I'm just like, this isn't gonna work. I'm like, I'm gonna, like, she's gonna need to redo this.
Yeah.
And they're like, you think so? I'm like, yep. So we get fitted. The suit comes in. I think it was like 4 days before the wedding.
Uh-huh.
Nothing really fit. I said, I tried to tell you how to wait until my show was done.
Oh. Like you needed more fabric?
Yeah, so she had it like she laughed. She's like, I've never seen someone get so big so fast. And then like
Bro.
and my dad was just like, he's in the rebound phase.
She's probably what the
Well,
fuck are you talking
she
about?
didn't know what, you know what I mean? So we're
Yeah.
like, yeah, we just got done a show. He's back to eating, whatever.
Yeah.
So basically she had to rush and get it refixed within 2 days.
Did it work though? You like the suit was fine?
No, yeah, it worked out.
We're gonna have to
But
get one.
I'm like, this is why you just fucking wait.
Yeah.
Like,
You'll have to get one for Kyle's wedding
yes, I am.
and one for the Olympia.
Yes, I am. I wore a pink one for 2022.
I do remember that. That was pretty snazzy. You could do that again this year.
I might.
But
I know a good suit place in Vegas.
just do the pink one.
That shit don't fit no more.
Well, have them redo it. Just have them tailor it again.
No, I might do green.
Like a darker green, like a forest green. That
Yeah.
actually look good. That looks sick.
That or like some type of red.
Then you do like a maroon, like a dark red.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would look snazzy.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Well, that was pretty good Q&A, I think.
Well, you got good questions.
I did. Nick's fan base, can you please ask better questions next time?
Yeah, for me and Danilo, not
For
just
both.
personal questions about my life.
Yeah.
It's for the podcast.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it, you guys. That was a good Q&A. We'll do like a couple Q&As here and there. I think these are fun, especially when it's like a good mix of questions. But
Yeah.
if you guys have anything specific you want to see, as always, let us know in the comments. Episode will go live obviously on Saturday the 31st, day after. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. We will see you next week for episode 3. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.